So, what exactly do you do when you realize that you have a style disconnect and you know that you need to make a creative shift in your style? And if you haven't watched my previous video, I recommend that you go watch that first and then come back here. So, just to jog your memory, this is the kind of art that I was making as I was trying to break into the art licensing world. You can see from this Pinterest board that I was creating cute forest animals. And I realized that this wasn't the expression or the style that I truly wanted to be making. And if you remember, I went ahead and I shared my Pinterest board. And I recommend this for anyone who is really struggling to find their style. And this is what my Pinterest board looked like as I was really focused on what is my style. And if you want to see a little bit more in depth, I went through the whole entire board on my last video. And I really recognized that I was making art for other people, but there was this voice and this creativity inside of me that I wasn't fully expressing. And one of the things that I think is really powerful to do as you're putting together your style board and really focusing on the type of art that you're wanting to be making, to really start pinpointing and look for the patterns that you see from your style board. And so when I was looking at my Pinterest board, I realized there that I actually just wanted to be making a lot of more abstracted work. And so in this video, I am going to share with you how my art actually shifted, and I returned back to making art that felt more like me. So that's what I'm going to share next. After I realized, this is not my style, and I really don't want to be doing any of these cute forest animals anymore, I went back to creating some abstract work. And so let me scroll down here to show you, these are some of the watercolors that I started doing. And again, notice there is no forest animals, and there is really no cute quality about this kind of art. I did later go into also diving into texture. And in one of my next videos, I'm going to be talking about the 7 different elements of art and how, if you focus on one or, even 2 to 3 of the art elements you feel most drawn to, it actually will help you develop your own creative voice. And so once I really started diving into this kind of work and making that shift, what started to happen was I actually started to sell my art in terms of through my Etsy store. I started selling a lot of original art, and then all of these opportunities opened up for me to start teaching my process. And so I can honestly say, by really finding clarity around my style, I was actually able to shift also in my business to go so much farther than I had ever gone before. And I think it's really important to start asking yourself some of these questions about your style and what is it that you really truly want to say through your art making. And one of the most powerful things that you can start asking yourself is, what is the message behind my art? And what am I trying to convey through the process of making art? And really, for the first time in a really long time, I felt like the shift that I made in the art that I was making really felt so much truer to who I was as a person. And I felt like I started making art that was fully me. And so I encourage you to put together your own style board on Pinterest and really see if you can find some of the patterns. Now, some of the elements that I encourage you to look at is how does line show up? These are the 7 different elements of art. How does line, shape, color, form, texture, value, and space show up in your Pinterest board? And how you choose to express each one of those elements of art is what's going to help you find clarity around your style. And so even if you have art on your style board that is really all over the place, I encourage you to ask yourself, why do I like specific pieces? And that is going to help you find clarity around your style. So it might be that you really love the way that the artist chose to express shape in the piece or texture, or you really love the color palette that was being used. And by really just getting more specific, it will help you innovate your process and express your own unique creative voice. So stay tuned for the next installment of these videos where I'm going to go deeper into the different style elements and elements of art.